Now is Washington Post columnist and MSNBC political analyst Eugene Robinson, and the executive director and co-founder of the Council on American Islamic Relations, Nihad Awad. Eugene Robinson, first of all, what was it like at the Post today when that cartoon went up? I want to just add, one of the reasons that the New York Times editor gave in consideration of running these cartoons was the danger, was the actual danger to their reporters, especially who are stationed abroad. Was that one of the considerations at the Washington Post?
Well, you know, I'm not a member of the editorial board, Lawrence, and let me make clear, of course, we have an absolute division of church and state at the Washington Post. Not that this distinction, you know, will be, you know, that everyone recognizes and understands it, but the editorial pages are run separately from the news pages. This was a decision by the editorial board, which runs the editorial page and the op-ed page. And, you know, I'm not a member of the board, so I can't I'd speak to the deliberations, except in my view, it was how can you write about this without giving readers some idea of what's at the heart of this awful event. And if you don't give them any glimpse of the offensive material in question, how are readers to judge or to really understand what happened? So I think on that basis alone, there's a good reason for having run this cartoon.
Let's listen to what Bill Maher said last night about the world's great religions.
We have to stop saying, well, we should not insult a great religion. First of all, there are no great religions. They're all stupid and dangerous. And we should insult them, and we should be able to insult whatever we want. That is what free speech is like.
Nihad Awad, should we be able to insult whatever we want?
Well, people like this really insult themselves, insult the intelligence of other people who are watching them, because he has the right to disagree with the religion. But just to make fun of other people and just earn money and just, you know, to be insensitive, it's his choice. Do I get offended by his lack of sophistication, his lack of knowledge, his lack of understanding? He offends himself more than he offends me. But nevertheless, he has the right to do it. And I'm not going to commit violence against him or urge for violence against him. We live in a free world. We live in a free society. Everything expresses himself. And what comes out of me shows my character. And what comes out of Bill Maher and others, it shows his character. And therefore, instead of me saying he's crooked, I am straight, you know, truth stands out from, other than truth. So therefore, he's entitled to his bigotry, I'm entitled to my decency, and we define each other based on what we do comes out of ourselves and out of our mouths.
Would you like to make what you call his bigotry illegal?
No, we live in a free society, and there's no such thing called illegal when it comes to free speech, except if he accuses me of committing a crime and he defames me and accuses me of doing something that I have not done. Under the U.S. law, that falls under libel and defamation, laws. But beyond that, he can say he doesn't like me, I say I don't like him, but he or I cannot accuse each other of doing something that we have not done.
Eugene, what do you make of the media landscape on this in terms of dealing with the basic exhibits of the case, as it were, the cartoons?
Well, first of all, there's a legitimate issue here, and our policy has been that, of course, we don't want to give gratuitous offense to anybody. And if you had asked me a month ago, in a vacuum, should we run the cartoons from Charlie Hebdo, I would have said absolutely not, because again, many of them are juvenile, they're kind of dumb, they're patently offensive. However, that was in a vacuum. And today, you know, as of yesterday, we have this horrific event, and we have these cartoons at the heart of it. And it is not necessary to run them all, in my view. It is not necessary to make some sort of huge, in-your-face statement by, you know, in whose face, by making a show of it. But just, you know, informationally, I mean, this is the business we're in. And in order to tell this story and to tell it right, I just don't see how you do it in a complete vacuum. Would be wrong, and I think, and I also think that we should just take into account the fact that this is a free society and free expression has to be free.
Eugene Robinson and Nihad Awad, thank you both very much for joining me tonight.